So that's right, the parent company of Buffalo Trace. When they purchased the A. Smith Bowman distillery in 2003, there was rampant rumors that they're going to use the Buffalo Trace bourbon for the John J. Bowman single barrel. So this bottle has been very hyped up and very much in demand, as everyone believes, and it's pretty much true now, that they used the Buffalo Trace Mash Bill number 1 to make this John J. Bowman single barrel. So, is it that good? Also, I'm going to compare it to my favorite Buffalo Trace single barrel, which is the E.H. Taylor single barrel, and see which one's better. Let's find out. Welcome to Whispering. My name is David. And first of all, I want to thank Danny for making this video possible, as he gifted this bottle, the John J. Bowman single barrel, to me a couple of weeks ago when we met up. And without him, this video wouldn't be possible. So, thank you, Danny. I greatly appreciate it. The John J. Bowman single barrel is rumored to be from Buffalo Trace Bourbon, their Mash Bill 1. And there's so much rumors now, it's basically confirmed. With that being said, many people have compared this bottle to Blanton's, Eagle Rare, E.H. Taylor's obviously, and even Rock Hill Farms. And many even said that it's better than those. Well, I'm gonna see how good this is to get that hype. And second, is it really better than the E.H. Taylor single barrel? Some stats: the John J. Bowman single barrel, its age is non-age stated, but it's rumored to be about 9 to 10 years old. Its proof is 100. Its mash bill, again, rumored to be from the Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 1 or the Low Rye Mash Bill. For the E.H. Taylor single barrel, non-age stated, at least has to be 4 years because of the bottled and bond, but it's rumored to be about 7 to 8 years old. Its proof is 100, and its mash bill, this one is for sure the Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 1 or the Low Rye Mash Bill. The price, this comes in around $60 retail and around $80 in secondary, while the single barrel, it is about $60, $70 MSRP, but secondary could go all the way up to $200. And as always, too much talking, not enough drinking. Let's get it, opening ceremonies. I'll let these open up for a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. All right, let's get right on to the experience. First, the nose. John J. Bowman single barrel. Ooh, very sweet up front. Caramel, brown sugar, but you get a lot of the sweet, darker fruits. Almost like a ripe blackberry or a blueberry. Or can I say it? A little bit of cherry. But it's so creamy. It's like a vanilla cream as well. And the spice, very cinnamon forward, but again, a lot more of the sweet cinnamon than it is like the peppery or the spice cinnamon. Oh man, it's almost like if you had any of those fruit pastries with a dash of cinnamon. Or you can say even with a cinnamon sugar. Just you get the fruit, you get the dough, you get the vanilla creaminess, and then, or the vanilla frosting, you get a little bit of spice from the cinnamon. All right, let's move on to the E.H. Taylor single barrel. The sweetness, creaminess, but you know, the caramel, the brown sugar, you get the cinnamon, you get the spice, but this is a lot more creamy vanilla. And the fruit is a little bit more citrusy, so a little bit more apples, a little bit more oranges than the darker sweet fruits of the John J. Bowman. This is a little bit more, I guess, refreshing, a little bit more citrusy, a little bit more happiness, I guess. It's almost a little bit more like if you're, you know, lighter than the John J. Bowman. So for the nose, by a slight hair, John J. Bowman. I really like that doughy vanilla frosting, that fruit sweetness that this gives you. It's a good one. Now on to the most important and my favorite part, the palate. Let's get drinking. Fire in the hole. First, the John J. Bowman. The sweetness hits you right up front. The caramel, brown sugar. It's like brown burnt sugar. And again, you get the spice of the cinnamon, but it is a lot more sweeter cinnamon than it is the spicy cinnamon. Like a cinnamon sugar type of feel. And the fruit, very a dried apple, not the fresh crisp apple, like a dried apple or even like a dried orange. So again, you lose a lot of the citrus of it or the tangy citrus, but you still get some citrus, but a lot more sweetness of that fruit. It's a good mouthfeel. The finish is medium long, but The finish is oaky, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of spice, but it is a little bit shorter than what you expect from the Palate. All right, on to the E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. Fire to hole number 2. Very similar to John J. Bowman, but it does differentiate. You can feel the difference. So again, the sweetness is there, the caramel, brown sugar, but it's not as dark, it's not as burnt. It's more of a creamy vanilla type of sweetness than it is the dark, rich sweetness of the John J. Bowman. The spice, very similar, almost like a cinnamon sugar, almost like in this case, a cinnamon honey type of just nice sweetness, but you get the cinnamon spice, but it's not overpowering. But the fruit, it is a little bit more citrusy. You do get the orange, almost like a grape kind of feel. So you get the sweeter fruit, but it is a lot more tangy and citrusy than the John J. Bowman. And the finish, very similar, vanilla, oak, slight spice coming down. And it is very smooth, but it is medium in terms of, it doesn't last too long. It just lasts just long enough to make you feel good, but just short enough where you want to have another sip again and again. Wow, both absolutely delicious. So for the palate, I'll give a slight preference to the E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. I think it's a little bit more balanced, it's a little bit more complex with the citrus and the fruit. Again, the vanilla creamy sweetness is very, very pleasing. Wow, this is a great pour, but it's so dark. You get the dark sweets, you get the dark fruits, you get the, I don't want to say the dark cinnamon, but again, sweeter cinnamon. So a lot of sweetness coming forward, again, relatively to the E.H. Taylor Single Barrel, which has a little bit more citrus, a little bit more fruit, a little bit more lively, a little bit more balanced. So a little bit more preference to the E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. If you're liking this content, please push that like button. It really does help me out. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. So other scores really quickly. Allocation score for the E.H. Taylor Single Barrel is a 3. It's really hard to find. It's one of the hardest bottles to find. I actually put it up there with Stag, especially if you want to find it at retail. Good luck. It just, everyone wants it and no one could find it. John J. Bowman Single Barrel, I would say it's a 5.5. It's hard to find, but I think it's more to do with the release dates here in California. I think once we get a shipment, it is in many other liquor stores and it's kind of there for like a week or two at around MSRP. But once it's gone, then you can't find it for a couple of months. But I heard in the East Coast, it's readily available. It's just kind of sitting on the shelf, especially in Virginia. But I'm not there and I wish I was because this is a damn good bottle. For style points, E.H. Taylor, 8.5. I mean, this is one of the bottles that everyone wants in a single barrel. Like I said, it's really hard to find. So a lot of people want to try it. It's going to be on my top front shelf. All right. John J. Bowman, 6.5. Bourbon enthusiasts know how good this is. They really like it. They know that it's Buffalo Trace bourbon. So they want to give it a shot, just like I did. And just like, you know, Danny gifting to me, which is cool. But if you're not a bourbon enthusiast or you're not a whiskey lover, most likely you're not going to know about this. So it'll probably be on my side shelf other than my top shelf. With all that combined, if you could only buy one, which one should you buy? The John J. Bowman Single Barrel. Whoa. Now, like I said, the experience, if you just take experience, it's the E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. It is slightly better than Palate, and I think it's a slightly better experience. But because of that slightly better experience, if you put in the other factors, the allocation, the price, it's so hard to find. You just have to make too much connections. You have to get so many points at a liquor store. You have to spend so much money on something else just to get this bottle at MSRP. So do you really want to do all that? Do you really want to spend all that time? Do you really want to spend money on that other bottles? If you do, right. But most of us don't. And that's why most of us should just get the John J. Bowman Single Barrel to get basically 95% experience that this provides. And yes, this is a little bit more stylish. It'll be nice to have on shelf. Now, if you find both around $60, $65, they're both sitting on the shelf and you can choose one, get the E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. But 99.99% of the time, that's not going to happen. You're going to see this at 60 and you're going to see this at 200 or more at a liquor store. And so to me, buy this. All right, leave in the comments below. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you see more in your market? Because that makes a big difference. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.